Hello, my name is Alexandra Vasquez, and I am here for my 8-week reflection. I'm going to be going over my third week lesson plan. This lesson plan dealt with numbered operations in base 10, and basically the basis of this was that students were going to have whiteboards or manipulatives resembling the less than, more than, or equal to symbols, and then they were going to follow and have to compare 3-digit numbers. In doing that, part of that was separating the number into its base hundreds, base tens, and the ones. So for the most part, I would probably try to teach how to break down the number ahead of time instead of cramming all of that into one lesson, just because the expectation might be too much, especially this lesson plan is for second grade. So in reality, I don't know that I'll have the attention span long enough to teach that whole process before we can actually start doing our assignment. So maybe just separate that and have it where we're going to teach how to separate 3-digit numbers into their correct hundreds, tens, and ones. And then maybe next week's lesson would be comparing numbers that are less than, greater than, and equal to, using that information as a basis, just because this can be a little too much. The expectation was too high in that sense. So that's one thing I would change. Looking back on it now, on my third week back, I think I was cramming too much information and not giving enough time for there to be questions or for there to be struggles or differentiation needed in the classroom. I'm kind of like assuming that we're all going to run smoothly and that we're going to be able to get it all done. So fitting that in. So some strategies that I would use for both of those, whether I'm teaching separating a 3-digit number into hundreds, tens, and ones, definitely using manipulatives, using whiteboards, using charts, having those T-charts, labeled hundreds, tens, ones, referencing the word wall constantly with visual examples. Those are ways that I would differentiate. When I'm talking about less than, more than, or equal to, of course, using our bodies, using our motions, right? Making big gestures, greater than, less than, equal to, and getting them involved, I think would be the biggest. Also having manipulatives for that as well, the symbol for less than, the symbol for more than, the symbol for equal to. I would like to have those on the table, and so that way we're grabbing it, referencing it, using it correctly, understanding that, just by simply flipping the less than symbol, you're getting the more than, and understanding that breaking those two concepts all the way down is probably the way I would break it down, is having different options and different accesses to the information, whether it's having bold text, whether it's using me as a visual, as an example, filming my lessons, of me on the board and uploading it to a Google Classroom so that students have access to it at home. If parents are wondering how we're solving these questions, how we're solving these assignments, they can very easily go onto the Google Classroom and see me do examples, see me teaching the lesson to their children. Would probably be the other thing that I would implement. So being able to analyze and reflect upon planning and practice with the goal of improving student outcomes. Of course, we want every student to be self-reliant, right? Being able to look back at their work and find ways to problem solve on their own, right? Independence is key. So I'm going to use the example of me in this class. I constantly have my uncle or my husband read over my stuff. So peer review, use your peers, use people who are around you to look and comment. This also helps build social emotional learning. We're going to lean on each other. Teamwork, creating a healthy environment for learning would be one way that I would probably promote that. Ask 3 before me. So students would have to ask 3 of their classmates. Maybe it's their table partner, someone right next to them, or it's the table leader of the week. And then they would have to ask somebody else from a different table or different group, and that would be their ask 3 before they ask me. Using calculators, you know, in this day and age, our phones are readily available. Students have access to technology. So maybe some days I'm gonna say, use your calculator, check your work, right? Check your work before you bring it to me. And of course, having those charts up on the wall, those um, word walls, those examples, and say, okay, if you're having trouble with this assignment, reference over here. This is where we have the key over here, and giving them clues like that so that they're able to check their work and know that there's guidance in the classroom is going to be one of the ways that I do that. Thank you. Have a good day.